Okay, so my birthday is coming up soon, and I'm gonna be turning 21. So I decided to do a 21 books that I want to read while I'm 21. These are mostly just books I'm excited for, not necessarily saying that I actually will read them throughout the year, but I could if I tried. Mostly just books that I've kind of put off a little bit and want to get to, or books that maybe I'm a little bit scared of, so putting them on this list works. In no particular order, it's just whatever stack I put them in is the order that we're going in. First off, Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie. I have yet to read an Agatha Christie book, so I really feel like I need to. Because why haven't I? It's a great question. Couldn't tell you. Don't know what this one's about as much. Boat murder. I think that's it. I think that's all you need to know. So there you go. I haven't read it. Haven't read anything by her. I saw the movie The Murder on the Orient Express. That was quite a while ago. I haven't seen any of the other adaptations. Just that one. It was good. Me like. So me want to read more. What else is there? Okay. Next is a brick. That is Les Mis. I have wanted to read Les Mis for a really long time. I saw the movie when I was young enough to probably have not been allowed to. I probably shouldn't have been allowed to see the movie, but I did. And growing up now, I want to have read the book. And also, it's big and chunky, and I want to say that I've read it. Okay, speaking of books that are big and chunky that I want to say that I've read, Moby Dick. Okay, the thing is with this one is I want to read it for more reasons than just it's big and chunky. What sparked my interest the most, I have seen an adaptation of Moby Dick. I don't know which one it is. I think it might have been the one with Chris Hemsworth. If there's one with Chris Hemsworth, either way, maybe he looks like him. I don't remember. But what sparked my interest in this one more was we played a song in my band class called Of Sailors and Whales, I think is what it was called. And it was based off Moby Dick, and I really liked that song. And so I want to read the book because I liked the song that it was based off of. This one, Whales. That's all you need to know. Also, I didn't say what Les Mis is about because, to be honest, I don't remember. Up next, we have the rest of the Narnia books. Like, I've only read the first 3. I'm on to Prince Caspian. Depends which order. The order that my books are numbered in, I know it's a hot topic debated. I think mine are in order of chronological because I've already read The Magician's Nephew. So I read The Magician's Nephew. I've read The Magician's Nephew, Horse and His Boy, and Blind the Witch in the Wardrobe. But I haven't finished, which is a crime. Why haven't I finished? If you don't know what Narnia is, look it up, man. You've got to know by now. Unless you don't. In which case, I'm sorry, I'm not summarizing it. Okay, the next up is The Odyssey by Homer. Why do I want to read this? Because I'm a fan of Epic the musical, and the brain rot is real, and now I need to. And I know, it's not the same thing, and I know it won't be the same thing, but I don't care. The Odyssey is Odysseus trying to get home, and he's stopped a lot along the way, and it's Greek mythology. Here we are. Next up, Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. If you can't tell, I don't really look at what things are about that much. What caught my eye on this one is sentient pirate ships. So naturally I want to read it, because pirates are cool. And it's big, and it's like actually like a more fantasy. And I want to get into like more adult fiction, which I read a little bit but not a ton. So there we are. Next up is The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. I'm counting them as one because then I can show them all to you. Because I haven't read them. And why haven't I read them yet? I don't know. So we're gonna read them. Actually, no. I think I have read The Hobbit because if you've seen the movies, there are certain characters that die, and I was like, that can't be true. So I think I read the book in, like, middle school. And I was like, oh, it is true. But then I have never read The Lord of the Rings, and I want to, because I love the movies, and I love the story, and I love the world, and all that it's about. But I haven't read the books yet. Okay, Jurassic, tone switch a little bit, but the knowledge of the Holy by Tozer, A.W. Tozer. I want to get into reading books that are, I don't know if about theology is the right terminology, but that are more faith-based, that have more substance to them and more meat on their bones. And a podcast that I listened to recommended Tozer, sort of. And then my pastor also listed this book in one of his sermons that I listened to recently. And so I want to read it and just be more well-read in Christian fiction. Non-fiction. Okay. Next up is Christian fiction, which is The Pilgrim's Progress. I've heard it said as like one of the greatest Christian allegories. I'm kind of scared to read it because the copy that I have is really old. Does it say? We went to an old bookstore, and I don't know if this says how old it is, but it's like, I don't know. It even has, okay. It's so dusty. What does it say? Okay. Well, there's a dedication in the front. It's written in the book. It's not like, a copyright page or something like that, but it's this one has been gifted to somebody in 1901. It even has like a little paper that's protecting the ink. But I want to read it, and I'm excited, but I'm also scared. So we'll see. Oh, another book I'm excited but also scared about. Don Quixote. The only reason I know about this book, other than now some of the booktubers that I follow have been either about to read it, want to read it, or read it, like, recently-ish. But before that, the only reason I knew about it is a substitute teacher that I had in high school started just talking about it. He was like, "Have you heard of the great Don Quixote?" And he was a theater substitute, so he was eccentric like that. But the way he told part of the story made me very interested in the book. But it's also thick. And I haven't read a ton of classics. So, me want read. Me don't think necessarily great starting point, but me want read. This is about a, dude. That's it. No. This is about a guy who, kinda is a little insane, and he goes on, like, stupid adventures, from what I remember. And from the brief reading of the back that I did. Okay. Up next we have The Hunger Games. Because they made a book with my favorite character from the movies as the main character. And I still haven't read the first 3 books. But I want to read the book where Haymitch is the main character because he was my favorite in the movies. So now I have to read the other 3. In order to read, this should be on top. I just grabbed it from my bookshelf, so it's like, boop, that's how it would be in the thing. I want to read the newest book, but I have to read the other books first. So I should read them, so that I can read the newest one that I'm excited for. The problem with these, why I haven't read them, this is so stupid. It's because I started to read them, and then I was like, it's first person. And I didn't want to read a book in first person. Not that I haven't sensed that, but Okay. Speaking of, like, 2010 dystopians, up next I have Insurgent and Allegiant, because I own the books. I read the first one. I loved the first movie growing up, and I haven't finished the books, and I own them, and I want to get rid of them. So that's my entire reason for including them, because I don't think I'll love them, and I don't care enough anymore, and I kind of just want to get rid of the books, but I don't want to get rid of the books unless I've read them, because I'm stubborn like that. Up next, we have all of the Sherlock Holmes books, or at the very least, the first one. I want to at least have read some of them. I grew up watching the RDJ movies. Love those. I've seen some of BBC Sherlock. Loved it also so far. So, you know, why on earth wouldn't I like the books too? Why haven't I read them? Couldn't tell you, but I haven't. I feel like all these books are really popular, and I feel like I haven't said anything about them, but I feel like if you don't know what some of these are, that's a you problem. So, yeah. But, I mean, if you don't know what Sherlock Holmes is, I don't know how to... Detective, man. He's a detective, and he's sassy, and he has a friend. Okay. Up next, we've got Peter Pan. Because listen, I don't know why it's in this list, but I want to read it, and it's a pretty book. So it's here. You know how earlier I was talking about books that I want to have read to say that I've read them? Well, War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. I want to have read The Chunky Beast. That's a sentence. Out of context, that's hilarious. In context, it's still questionable. This book's about war and peace. The Inklings. This is a book about C.S. Lewis, J.R.R. Tolkien, Charles Williams. So, like, the group of people that were writers that did all the stuff, and they were friends. And I want to read it to see if it has any things I can glean from it as far as writing is concerned. And also just for the fact that of how influential C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien have been with their writing and whatnot, and see mostly just if there's anything I can take away from it. I'm hyped. I genuinely, I found out about this book a while ago, and I've been so excited to have read it. Up next, we have Rules for a Night. I found this book. This is not a book that I have been influenced by social media into wanting to read. I found it, I was looking through Barnes & Noble, and I wanted a quick read, so naturally I didn't read the book that I found, but I was looking at all the tiny books, and I found this tiny book, and it is there's no, like, back description or anything on it, so I read the, where is it? There's an editor's note, and it is a, letter of a soldier, or a knight, I believe, who I think thought he was going to die, or he did die, and it's his letter home to his kids, I think. Something along that lines. And it just sounds so intriguing, and that I haven't seen literature like this and whatnot, and it's a small little, he's here. Normal size book, this book. It's cute, okay? I want to read it because it's cute. And also sounds insightful. Up next, C.S. Lewis. This is his book Miracles. I'm not as, like, I want to read this one specifically. This is just the one I own. More specifically on C.S. Lewis, so that I want to read within this year and, like, get into is going to be the Screwtape Letters and Mere Christianity. Two classics that I have not read, but I want to. I just want to kind of delve deep into C.S. Lewis and his works. Because I've only read, like, 3 of the Chronicles of Narnia, and he's a great writer, and I want to have read his stuff. And then up next we have, this is another series one that I'm counting as one book, but it's The Mark of the Lion, right? That's what it's called? Yeah, Mark of the Lion trilogy by Francine Rivers. No, I have a different edition of this one than I do of these two. This is the older ones, this is the newer one. I found this at Goodwill, okay? Oh, I was gonna say how much I got it for, but the price tag I ripped off. I think I got it for, like, $1.99, okay? But I read the first book, A Voice in the Wind, a couple years ago. Wow, it's been a couple years? That's crazy. Anyway, it's the only book to have made me viscerally sob. And so I want to finish the series out because it's so good. It's a Christian, I will actually tell you about this one. It's a Christian historical fiction following Hadassah. This girl who was from Jerusalem. It's during AD 70, so the siege of, is it a siege? Siege, there's another word that it might be that's not a siege. I don't know. During the attack on Jerusalem in AD 70. And it follows a young Christian girl as she is taken and sold into slavery. It also follows a Roman and a German barbarian, I think. But dude, listen. It was such a good book. It's such a the chef's kiss. So I need to read I need to reread this book, and I need to read the rest of the series because it was just so. What's the word? What is it? Oh no, where's my word? It's when you pulling a Bella. It's when you as a critic convicted. It's such a convicting book too about living out your faith in the midst of whatever you're going through, because she's going through stuff. And she's like, I will trust God through it all, and act like it. And the sauce. This one has the sauce. Okay, 2 more. We've got Don't Waste Your Life by John Piper. This is one that I actually do want to specifically read, at least this year, but as I'm still a young adult, because, I mean, it's in the title. Don't waste your life. And I want to make sure I'm living everything to the full, to the glory of God, and not focus on things that aren't important, but to really center and ground my life in Christ. Last but not least, Wild Tone Shift again. I need to finish the Vinland Saga series, at least as far out as it is. It is I should not just open to a random page. That could be very bad to show on YouTube. It is... Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Look at this old king, dude. It's a manga... My bookmark just came out. Is this even my bookmark? I think this might be Grace's. It's a manga about Vikings, and this one Viking in particular. And it's heavy. Its themes are so heavy, but it's such a good book, or good series. I've read 4 volumes. I might have read 5. I might have read one that I got from the library. I'm not sure if I read it or not, but oh no, I totally read that one. Okay, so I've read 5 volumes, and halfway through, and not halfway through, after the 4 volumes, it does this tone switch, and at first I was like, but then I really, really like it, and what it's delving into is such a good route that I feel like you don't really see as much, and just the conversations that it has. Not to mention, the art's really good, and the fight scenes that it has, you can actually follow really, really well. But, another thing is it has accidental Christian rep that's actually really, really good. And I don't think it's intentional, where it's I want to make sure this is done right. I think it's just, I don't maybe it is. I don't know. But it's it's not following a Christian character at all. It's not a Christian series. But there's this one guy who's a priest, I think. Barely. And he looks at these 2 Vikings. And he's they ask him, they're tell us about love. And he's like, do you love your brother? And they're like, yeah, of course. I would die for my brother. I love my brother. And he's like, or no, they're and they look at him and they ask him, tell us about love. And he looks at the 2 of them and they're like, do you love him? Do you love your brother? And they're like, yeah, of course we love our brother. We love each other. And he's like, would you die for your brother? And they're like, of course, without a doubt, I would die for my brother. And he's like, what about the person you're fighting? Would you die for them? They're like, what? No, absolutely not. And he's like, well, then it's not love. And that's, I don't know how to put in words the way I thought about that, and what that kind of means. I'm not going to be good at saying that exactly, but just that concept of what really does it mean? Because it's not just a feeling, it's an action. And what does it mean to be a man of war versus a man of peace? The themes, what does revenge do? Is it good? Just that everything that it's about, what makes a true warrior, what makes someone a just person. It's a heavy book, content-wise too, or series. But it's one of the best mangas I've read so far. And that is all I have to say about that. And oh, my knees! Okay. Well, I can't stack these. I could try, but it's not gonna work. So hang on. Dude, I need new kneecaps. Maybe I won't include all of them on this stack, but we've got, hang on, I can do like 2 more. We've got some of them. That's my throat. Anyway. Okay, what I'm holding are some of the books. There's more on the floor. I'm not holding them. I will drop them. But that I want to read while I'm 21. Or at least as soon as I manage to get to them. I am a mood reader, so it depends. I've also been reading slower lately. But we shall see. Anyway, have a good day. Have a good night. Or day. Or afternoon. Or weekend. Bye!